A while ago, I talked about the possible connection between Vinny and Lysander and how he would likely be behind whatever's going on in Lumiose City. It was mostly a gut feeling, basing on his position at Quazartico and also his appearance. You know, the whole beard and the whole cute hair clips that are likely hiding some specific haircut. But you know, there's always a chance that it just isn't connected to Lysander, or at least not from his family. But there's a chance that he, or anyone else really, actually is Lysander. So hey, I'm not so a strainer, and Lysander's the villain. Let's get into it. You all know who Lysander is and what his fate was at the end of Pokémon X and Y. Or at least what we believe that his fate was. After being defeated and after we escaped from Team Flare's secret hideout, the whole place fell apart and we can only assume that Lysander was buried underneath the rubble, never to be seen again. Of course, we saw him during the whole Rainbow Rocket storyline, but that's what I like to call timeline shenanigans. It wasn't our Lysander. Bro is basically dead. This is the reality that we all accepted. I mean, the whole place fell down and he was in there, so he was dead. But we never really hear anything about him being dead or alive. I did hear that liking, subscribing, and even joining the channel is pretty awesome though. Still, there was one thing that we knew for sure, and that was that even after the fall of Team Flare and the destruction of the ultimate weapon, there were still things going on in Lysander Labs through Zerozik, who was basically Lysander's right-hand man. And he was continuing with a personal project of his, disconnected from anything Team Flare. This project was the development of the expansion suit, a special device that gave whoever wore it superhuman reflexes and strength, the ability to control Pokeballs, and even the ability to shapeshift. It could also be controlled remotely, rendering whoever wore it powerless. This device was tested on young Emma, who is very likely not so young now in Pokémon Legends Z-A. She was a girl that ended up in Luca's care, and when she felt she was a financial burden on the detective, she ended up going for a part-time job at Lysander Cafe, which ended up not going that well since she was tricked into helping with the research that Zerozik was doing over there. In the end, we uncovered the mystery of Essentia, the criminal, learning that she was indeed Emma and ruined Zerozik's plans, who is then taken by Luca to undergo trial. The suit is left with Emma, and Zerozik even ends up telling her to use it to keep the peace in Lumiose City, kinda like a Pokemon version of Iron Man. So it's all good, right? Zerozik ended up regretting, and that's all there is to the story, right? Well, I don't think so, as you might have expected. He was running low on funds, which means that he was likely working alone, but he was still using Lysander Labs for it. That was the place that he went straight to, and not only that, he went to a secret part of Lysander Labs, which makes me question, are there more secret parts to that place? The other thing that I'm wondering about is what happened to the expansion suit research. Was it taken by Luca? Did Zerozik leave it at Lysander Labs? Was it put in some kind of database? How likely is it that in Pokémon Legends Z-A we have more than one of these devices? I'm pretty sure Emma will be some kind of superhero in this game, concealing her identity with the expansion suit and using it when fighting crime in the city of Lumiose. She might even be working with the masked heroes, Sina and Dexio, who already give this place a superhero connection. But with Quazartico built on top of what used to be Lysander Labs, and us having evidence that at least one hidden area existed within that place, who's to tell us that there aren't more? Places that even Zerozik didn't know about. Places only known to one person, Lysander. And just like Zerozik went straight to that place after Team Flare fell, hiding and continuing his research, so would the wounded, broken Lysander. Someone that is trying to end the world is someone that likely has a doomsday bunker somewhere, and it sure as hell isn't the secret hideout next door to the ultimate weapon. Now time has passed, not too much, but enough. You can check this video out to know exactly how much time I think has passed, but it is enough for Lysander to be healed and no longer hiding. That's not because people forgave him, but that's because he isn't the kind of guy to regret his actions. During the whole Team Rainbow Rocket storyline, after we defeat him, he tells us that maybe things would have been different in his world had he met someone like us, only to quickly dismiss that thought. It's just not right in the head, that one. Not the kind of character that is redeemable. But how would Lysander still have power, access to technology, research, and his secret areas in Lysander Labs and not be noticed by anyone? Quazartico is the perfect answer, of course, but like I said, I don't think everyone at Quazartico is evil. I think someone in there is, but not all of them, not the company. Their goal is good, and I do believe that. I do have my reservations about the Battlezone Spars and the Z-A Royale because those seem to be organized by them as well, since the background pattern on the Rotten Phone is very similar to that one we find at Quazartico headquarters, and I can't really see how that would be good for the city, but there might be a reason for that to exist. We just don't know it yet. In my other video, I said that someone might be Vinny, but with a certain device, it could be Lysander. If there are more expansion suits or something even more advanced as technology appears to have improved, this could easily be done. In fact, the Holocaster was developed by Lysander Labs and has clearly received an update, which means Team Flare or Lysander Labs related research and technology is being worked on. They were responsible for many comforts that Colossian society saw as necessary, and it's very likely that someone quote-unquote bought their research in order to make money from it. Once again, Quazartico is the most likely candidate for this due to their location above Lysander Labs and their role in Lumio City, which in a way replaces what Lysander Labs did. When we battled Emma, she didn't look like this. She looked like this, and this, and this. As long as the appearance, the data is in the databank of this device, the expansion suit can really make you look like anyone else, really anyone else. This creates the opportunity for an actual surprising plot twist in Pokémon Legends Z-A. Imagine meeting more and more people at Quazartico, the CEO Jet, her secretary Vinny, all kinds of scientists and researchers, and not really knowing if all of them are who they say they are. I mean, if there are even more expansion suits, literally all of Team Flare's top players could be disguised within the company. It could be some kind of Team Flare takeover, trying to find a way to get their plan through. But this time having to change some things as there is no ultimate weapon anymore. This started as some kind of crazy thought when reading up on the dialogue from the Looker chapter, but I think it really is a possibility. I don't see Zerozik being a part of it, as the guy is probably returning to help us, as no one knows the expansion suit better than him, but Lysander. I don't think that final part of X and Y was the last we saw of him. I think we're gonna see a very much more corrupted and more evil version of him in Pokémon Legends Z-A. But hey, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Dashplays and Gatsy, and Twitch subscribers and Newbies here and Zanes222 for going that extra mile. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much.